Yo, 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 what is going on, guys? Joey Jaggermuck is back here with another video, and in this video, I'm going to give you the game picks for the rest of Week 15. I know several games have been played already, but the Sunday and Monday slot for Week 15 games for the 2022 NFL season. So let's jump right on into it, coming up with the first game of several 1 o'clock games today. We have the 5-8 Falcons at the 4-9 Saints, so big NFC South battle, and despite the record being 5-8, the Falcons very much find themselves in possible position to win their division. If they win today and the Bucks lose, which is very much a possibility, they will be tied for first place. I think the Bucks have the tiebreaker, but the Falcons very much have a chance of winning the division, as crazy as that sounds. Anyways, the Saints obviously have underperformed this year. They've had a lot of injuries as well, but not going very well for them. The Falcons have not had a great season either. They've had their ups, like offensively, they've had their ups. They've also had their downs. Their defense has not been very good. But I think a big headline going into this game is the Falcons are actually starting their rookie quarterback, Desmond Ridder. I think they're finally going to pull the trigger on him. So that will make hopefully a difference. We'll see how he does. I'm sure he's going to be a little bit off in his first game starting, but it should be interesting to see if he can give the Falcons a little bit of a jolt offensively. But with that in mind, I am going to actually go with the Saints here, with them being at home. And they're still going to be playing for pride, and with the Falcons starting a new quarterback, it might take a while for him to get acclimated. So give me the Saints winning this game, 23-17. I could see the Falcons holding a lead for a while, but they just can never hold them. So give me New Orleans pulling that one out. Next game, guys, we have the 5-8 Steelers at the 5-8 Panthers. So the Steelers definitely, I would say, I think their divisional hopes are officially shattered. Actually, I guess they're technically not. If the Ravens and the Bengals somehow manage to lose out and the Steelers win out, I guess they can still win the division, but it's highly, highly unlikely. The Steelers' playoff hopes are very, very slim as well. I don't think they've been officially eliminated yet, but not looking good for them. Anyways, Panthers, another team. They're 5-8, but they find themselves very much having a chance to win that division because it's just so bad this year. So very much a must-win for the Panthers. But I like the Steelers in this one, man. Despite them losing to the Ravens last week, I do think that they're playing a lot better football. They're looking at least somewhat better offensively. Their defense is at least somewhat good when healthy. So give me the Steelers winning this game 24-20. Next game, guys, we have the 12-1 Eagles at the 3-10 Bears. This game should not be very close. Not a game anybody really cares about. But Philadelphia obviously have had some lows this season, but it's been much more highs than lows. The offense has been clicking. Jalen Hurts obviously having an MVP caliber season. He's got his weapons with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Defensively, they have, been a little more subject to be exploited, but it hasn't made much of a difference because their offense has been playing really well. I do think that defense is going to become much more important come the playoffs, but not really anything to worry about right now. To be fair, I do think the Bears are a little bit better than their record indicates. They have been in several close games. Justin Fields has had a very up and down season. It's in Chicago, but I still think the Eagles should win this game pretty easily. Give me Philadelphia winning this one 31-17. Next game, guys, we have the 10-3 Chiefs at the 1-11-1 Texans. Another game not anybody really cares about, but the Chiefs 10-3 right now. They're in a battle with the Bills for the number 1 seed. With the Bills winning last night, the Chiefs have to win to stay tied with them. But even if they win, the Bills have the tiebreaker because they beat them earlier this season. I think that's how it works anyway. But the Chiefs still are the 2 seed right now and still could get the 1 seed. It's in Houston, but that really doesn't make much of a difference. The Texans have just been an absolute train wreck this year. Frankly, I kind of thought they would put up a little more of a fight. I thought that would be bad. I didn't think they'd be this bad. David Mills, I don't even know what his name is. It's been horrible. Their defense obviously sucks. They're not well coached. It's all bad for the Texans. Chiefs should win this game pretty easily. I mean, I know they sometimes underperform to bad teams, but they're gonna pull it out in the end, and I also could see them absolutely dominating. So give me the Chiefs putting up a lot of points here. Let's go with the Chiefs 35-10. Don't think this game will be close. Next game, guys, we have the 10-3 Cowboys at the 5-8 Jaguars. A lot of 10-3 teams today. So the Cowboys are obviously having their best season in a long time. Their defense is coming along. Offensively, they've had some injuries, but they've still been doing pretty well. You guys know my stand on the Cowboys. I still don't think they'll go far in the playoffs because I just don't trust Dak Prescott. But in the regular season, they can dominate. I don't think they will dominate today, though. The Jaguars, give teams some stiffs. I mean, they've played pretty much everyone tough except for the Chiefs. They're 5-8. that division, they still have a slim chance of winning that division. That's another division that's not very good this year. The Titans lead it at 7-6, but 7-6 is not even that good. I think the Jaguars are in second place. Their only hope of making the playoffs is the division, because the rest of the AFC, like the secondary teams like Baltimore, Miami, perhaps New England if they can get there, definitely are going to be better than the Jaguars just record-wise, I think. So I definitely think the Jaguars, their only hope of winning the division, making the playoffs, is winning the division. So it's a must-win for the Jaguars, point being. Despite it being a must-win, and again, I do think the Jaguars will play the Cowboys tough. I think the Cowboys are still going to pull this one out, though. They're a much better all-around team. They've been playing really, really well this year. Their defense is better than it used to be. So give me the Cowboys winning this game, 27-24. But again, should be a good game. Next game, guys, we have the 6-7 Lions at the 7-6 Jets. This should be a good game as well. And you could argue, really, the Lions, I don't know if they've been officially eliminated, but their hopes are very slim just for the reason, they're not going to win the division, obviously. Minnesota will. But the NFC's tough, and I don't know if they're going to find a secondary seed in there. Maybe they will. But the Lions, they're still going to be trying, at least. There's no way they're tanking the season. The Jets, meanwhile, obviously in a little bit of a slump right now. They haven't been playing well. Their offense has been iffy. Their defense has been okay, but, not quite as good as it usually has been. And they're 7-6. I think they've lost, 2 in a row or something. So they definitely need to get themselves back on track. Tough task, though. The Lions are 6-7, but, man, have they been something this year. They're also hot right now. They've been playing really, really good football. Jared Goff has been playing well. Their defense is coming along. They're running the ball well. So the Lions are going to be tough here. But I do think the Jets are going to get this win. As much as I like the Lions, I do think the Jets are actually a respectable team this year. At least they have a lot of talent. Their issue is their quarterback situation. So I actually think that Zach Wilson is back at quarterback today, because Mike White is dealing with an injury, and they just refuse to start Flacco for some reason. So I think Zach Wilson is going to get back out there. So what does that mean? The Jets will probably score 10 points. So it is tough to go with the Jets here, but I trust their defense. I do think they're a better all-around team. It is a must-win situation for them, especially with Miami losing last night to Buffalo. The Jets know they have to win this game to at least get even with Miami. So give me the Jets winning this one in a low-scoring game, 17-13. Okay, guys, now we're moving into our later games. We have the 4-9 Cardinals at the 3-10 Broncos. So obviously, big development for the Cardinals. Kyler Murray is out for the season. He tore his ACL on Monday night. Tough blow for the Cardinals. Even though their season was pretty much over, it still was a big loss. And, a late in the season injury like that, there's no guarantees he comes back for the start of next season anyway. So prayers up for Kyler Murray, and hopefully he has a speedy recovery. Anyways, Broncos, definitely the biggest disappointment of the season. They just do not have not been playing well at all. They did put up a decent fight against Kansas City last week. They were down, 27-0 or something? They did make a nice fight at the end. I got to give them credit. But then they fell short at the very end. With it being in Denver, the Broncos still playing for pride. Russell Wilson playing for his job. I know that he has a big contract, but I don't know what they're going to do with him. But they definitely know he's not the long-term answer. At least they may not think he is, and he has not proven that he is. Also, Nathaniel Hackett, they're probably going to play for his job because, I know it's his first year as a coach, but obviously things have just not gone well at all. And the Cardinals are also without Kyler Murray. They have not been playing well lately. So with the Broncos at home, give me Denver winning this game, 24-17. Next game, guys, we have the 7-6 Patriots at the 5-8 Raiders. So the Patriots, I believe, I don't know if they're in the playoffs as of now. I think they were, but with the Dolphins losing, but then the Chargers sneaking, I don't totally know. But the Patriots find themselves knocking on the door, at least. They still have a playoff chance, we'll put it that way. So they are in must-win situations. Really, their playoffs start now if they want to get in. I guess they could get in at 10-7, but you definitely don't want to take that risk. The Raiders, meanwhile, I don't know if they've been officially eliminated yet, but highly unlikely they make it. They're not a very good football team, but also the AFC is tough. A lot of good secondary teams besides the division leaders, so definitely don't think the Raiders are going to go this year. They're still going to try, though. They're definitely not going to tank the season, especially against the Patriots, but I don't think that the Raiders are going to go anywhere. But with it being a must-win for the Patriots, I know they haven't been playing very well lately, but I think New England will pull this one out. Must-win situation for them. Let's give me New England winning this game, guys. Let's go with New England 24-20. Should be a pretty good game, though. Next game, guys, we have the 7-6 Titans at the 7-6 Chargers. This should be a big game. Both teams in a must-win situation. I gotta credit the Chargers, man. They pulled off a big Sunday night win against Miami last week. I wasn't expecting that, but they pulled it out, so I'll give them credit. The Titans are slumping right now. They just lost to the Jaguars, and again, the Jaguars are a battle as a team, but to lose at home to them is not a good sign, especially when you're battling, especially when they're a divisional rival and you're trying to maintain your spot in the division. So, again, both teams are must-win situations. Yeah, I don't know who to go with here because both teams are inconsistent. When they're on, they're on. When they're off, they're off. But it's in LA. The Chargers play much better at home than on the road. They're feeling really good after that win last week against Miami. So give me the Chargers pulling this one out in a close game, 27-24. It should be a good game, though. And this should be a good game as well. I'm hoping this is the nationally televised 425 game. We have the 9-4 Bengals at the 6-7 Buccaneers. So obviously, if you're a Ravens fan, you're cheering hard for the Bucs here, myself included. Regardless, especially after the loss yesterday against Cleveland. But if the Bengals lose, the Ravens still maintain for first place in the division because of the tiebreaker. If not, the Bengals take first place. So definitely cheering for the Bucs here. However, it's in Tampa Bay, which helps, but I still just don't think it's going to happen. The Bengals are just absolutely rolling right now. I don't know how many they've won in a row. What is it, 4 or 5? They are just playing really good football right now. I do think this game will be close because I actually don't think that the Bucs are a great matchup for the Bengals because they got a really good front seven. So if they can get after Burrow and disrupt his timing with his receivers, I do think they will be able to keep up with them. I don't think it'll be a blowout. And Tom Brady, a pissed off Tom Brady can sometimes just get worse, but it sometimes can, help jolt his team. And the Bucs, obviously they're 6-7, but they are still in first place in their division, as far as I know. So they very much know they're still in a playoff hope. It's in Tampa Bay, so again, that will help. The Bucs play much better at home than on the road. But as much as I'm cheering for the Bucs, I got to go with the Bengals here. They are just playing really good football right now. Burrow is locked in. Their defense is playing better. So give me Cincinnati pulling this one out, 31-27. I'm kind of biting the bullet on a little bit of a higher scoring game here, but give me 31-27 Bengals. Okay, guys, this is our Saturday night football game. We have the 7-5-1 Giants at, guess what, the 7-5-1 Commanders. So, very good game here. In fact, as far as I know, I think both teams had their one tie. I think it was against each other, if I recall correctly. I think the Commanders and the Giants tied earlier this season. So now a rematch tonight. This time it's in Washington. NFC East battle, a division that had been pretty pitiful the past couple of years, but it is much better this year. I think every team in that division is a playoff contender because you have the Giants, the Commanders, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. So the division has come a long way. Anyways. Both teams, I think, are, okay, not great. They've had their high highs and low lows, especially the Giants. They've looked great some games, and then they've looked pretty bad other games. It's in Washington, which helps. I don't know what the Commanders' health situation is. I know they've had some injuries, especially on defense. But with it being in Washington, I think that the Commanders are kind of having a better second half season. So give me the Commanders pulling this one out in an NFC East showdown, 23-20. And this is funny because I think that the tie for the Giants and Commanders was like 20-20 or 23-23 or something. So I think I'm expecting something similar to that, but I don't think they're going to tie this time. I think this time the Commanders will pull it out and give me them 23-20. Okay, guys, this is our last game, Monday Night Football. We have the 4-9 Rams at the 5-8 Packers. So obviously this is a game that, at the start of the season looked like, oh my God, what a game this is going to be. Now it can be described as the battle of mid, if you ask me. But anyways, the Rams, obviously their season is over, but they're still playing for pride, especially with Baker Mayfield coming and pulling off a pretty amazing comeback last week against, I forget who it was. Seattle, was it? I forget. Anyways, Mayfield is going to start again, as far as I know, so that should be interesting. Green Bay, meanwhile, 5-8. If they can win out and get help to get in the playoffs, it's very unlikely, but, I've seen crazier things. It's still Rodgers at quarterback. I know some Packers fans are advocating for Jordan Love to get a chance because Packers season is pretty much over. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, though, as far as I know. Rodgers is starting tomorrow. Defensively, obviously the Packers have had a lot of injuries, so they're not at full strength. But then again, offensively, the Rams have had a bucket load of injuries. Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, all of their big stars have been out. So it's kind of like an even battle, I guess, if you ask me. With being in Green Bay, the Packers are much better at home than on the road. They still have a glimmer of hope to make the playoffs. So give me Green Bay winning this game, guys. Let's go with Green Bay 27-23. It should still be a decent game, just not as exciting as it looked earlier in the season, but Green Bay will pull it out 27-23. And guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I am out. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck to your teams with their plans today, and I will see you all next weekend.